something and you've got to a point where you think, I don't want to write this anymore. You don't feel the story.
Yeah.
How do you go from that? Do you stop writing that one and go on to another one, or?
I think I'm a bit dogged, so I don't do that. I know lots of good, really great writers do. They have things on the go and they put it away. But there's something, I'm that sort of person who can't, if I'm reading a book, I kind of have to finish it, even if that means reading it really quickly and looking at the end. But, so I actually either finish something or I will drop it. Not very often, but I have. I mean, catastrophically, it's awful if it happens to a novel. Weirdly, has it happened in a short story? I think in a short story, I've usually, even when I haven't been very happy, because a story's short, I've gone on to finish it, to try and hope. You still go on hoping against hope that you're wrong, because that's the hardest question when you're a writer, isn't it? Well, there are many hard questions, but the hardest question of self-critique is to distinguish between the authentic intuition that this isn't working, it's wrong, something's wrong, it's finished, and the common feeling you have, even when you are doing something that will turn out to be all right, that you are disenchanted with it. It isn't working. And how do you tell the difference between the real it isn't working and the one that is just we're all subject to? So that's a really hard one, and you're trying to get outside yourself and outside your own head and your own involvement and look impartially, and actually you really do need to try that all the time, but it's also unattainable. So I think I had one novel certainly that I got a long way with halfway through, and I had a night when I was talking to a friend and I was sort of saying what it was about, and I suddenly thought, I was driving home from her house, a long drive in the dark, and it came to me with this sort of clarity that it was nonsense. I was faking it. I should stop. And I knew with that, and I didn't touch it again. But that's a huge deal. I probably spent a year on it. That's quite a long time ago. And then with The London Train, which was the novel before Clever Girl, I wrote a long novel and felt all right about it, actually. Then showed it to one friend who was a lovely friend, and he was so kind, and he sort of said, yes, it's got a lot of interesting stuff in it, and something like that. And as he said those words, it came to me that it was the dreariest, most horrible, saggy. I knew, it was so funny, it was as if I was waiting to know it, and I'd held off, and as he said those rather kind, effortful words, trying to, so that I knew there was something catastrophically wrong, and I actually asked for help at that point. And again, this same wonderful American publisher, who has once or twice given me advice that wasn't right, and I knew, but on this occasion she read it, and she said, well, I think, what about turning it into a novella? And I instantly knew she was right, and I did that. I started again with a new document, but I was cutting and pasting stuff, but everything was different. The whole tension of the thing was different and better. I immediately knew it was better, and I did it quickly because I had so much material I was taking out of the previous version. And then that was a novella, and then as I got on with it and thought, I think this is working now, I was casting around thinking, a novella, who wants that? How will I ever publish that? She sort of said, well, we'll put some stories with it. But then I thought, what if I wrote another novella, a twin? And what if I packed the two twins in together? And then, what if I made a secret connection between them that was like a tunnel connecting the two stories? I got, for weeks of agony of having written a no-good novel, I had a couple of hours of very pure brilliance where I solved it. Well, I didn't. She helped me. She got me started, but where I thought of that novel in two halves with the connecting link. Yeah, you win some and you lose some, but it's very, very difficult. One shouldn't always trust oneself. Sometimes it's just a horrible day and your mind is scrambled and you don't believe yourself. You don't believe you have the authority to write, and so you look at the page and it looks unspeakable. It looks dead, and you're wrong. But sometimes you're right. And I don't know how one manages. You just fumble it, ask someone else, look again, wait till you feel better.